Alright, so we want to be looking at working out the full amount when just a percentage of a part or percentage of a full amount is known. So there's two methods for us to consider. One of them is thinking about breaking it down to find out how much just 1% would be, and then from there we can times by 100 to get back to the full amount. Another way to look at it, and really the mathematics between these two things is exactly the same, it's just the way you see it in your head is going to be different. You can think about, when we're dealing with percentages, we often think about the part over the total, and that, if you don't times it by 100, is just equal to the decimal that you've got for the percentage. So let's take a look at the two ways that these work out for us. So if 5% of a pile of lollies is 7 lollies, how many lollies are in the pile total? So here we're trying to work back and find the total or the whole or original amount. And one way that we can think about doing that, well, if you think about 5% being 5 individual 1%, 2, 3, 4, 5. If we think about trying to break 7 up into 5 equal chunks, you're going to find out how much just one percentage is. And we can do that by division. So 7 divided by 5 gets you 1.4. And so that tells us that 1.4 is equal to 1% of the entire pile. And so from there, we can go times by 100, because if you have 1%, right, if this is just the 1%, to get to 100%, the whole amount, you're going to times by 100. So you get 140 lollies. So again, the 1.4 is 1% of the original, and times it by 100 you get to the total amount. Now the other strategy that I was thinking about was saying think about part over total is equal to the decimal. Well, in that case, 7 is the part, right? 7 out of something total is equal to 5%, but we don't know what that is. So our second method could be 7 out of the total that we don't know is equal to 5%. And if you just convert that to a decimal to begin with, you'll be in good shape. So always write it as the decimal, not the percentage. Now from here you can think about doing a little bit of algebra. If you times both sides by x, times by x, you end up with 7 is equal to 0.05x, and then if you divide by 0.05 and divide by 0.05, you get 140 is equal to x. So 140 lollies. So again, two ways to do that same problem. If we take a look at our next question, if 12% of a paycheck is 36, how much is the paycheck for? So again, if we've got 12 individual percents here, 12 of them, let's figure out how much one of them is by dividing by 12. So 36 has 12 individual 1% in there. If we divide by 12, we're going to find out how much 1% is. So that's going to be equal to 1%. So 3 is 1% of the total. And if you have 1% and you want to get to 100%, well, times by 100. So you end up with $300 in this case. And using that same strategy as before, 36 is the part. Total we don't know is equal to 0.12. If you can visualize this without doing all the steps, that's okay. Basically what you get to is 36 divided by the decimal is equal to 300. So both of these strategies work, and in reality you're actually doing the exact same mathematics, just different ways to think about it. So whichever way works for your brain is totally correct and okay to use. So again, think about trying to work backwards here. We've been given the part of a percent, we've been given the percent of a total, so we basically got the part, and we're trying to work backwards to figure out how much the total was, or the original quantity.